Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing really well and you've had a fantastic week this week. I'm Lindsay, your host of the Heavy Metal Journal and writer for the Moshville Times, and today I am back with New Metal Monday, where I talk about my favourite new releases of the week. Now, I don't have an EP or a track of the week this week, but to make up for that, I have 8 brand new albums that I want to talk about, so it's going to be quite a long video this week, so let's jump straight into these. Okay, so first up on today's list, I have Before the Dawn with Cold Flare Eternal, and this is the 9th studio album from the melodic death metal band from Finland. Now, this band made their grand return back in 2023 with the album Stormbringers after an 11-year-long hiatus, and they are one of those bands that are constantly evolving and expanding on their sound, and this new album is definitely evidence of that. Balancing furious, fiery energy with beautifully melodic northern stories, there's a lot of introspection throughout this album, but it's merged with biting aggression and really rich melodies. Crushing yet beautiful riffs and solos, intense blast beats, really dense bass lines and captivating keyboards. It's a mix of guttural and clean vocals throughout, which really adds to that atmospheric feel. This album is impassioned, it's beautiful, incredibly powerful, and it has a lot of soul behind it. So if you are a fan of the likes of Insomnium, Omnium Gatherum, or Swallow the Sun, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this one out, especially if you really like your melodic death metal with a lot of really cool soaring synths and keyboards, but it definitely focuses on the more aggressive side of things too. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on my list, I have Nailed to Obscurity with Generation of the Void, and this is the 5th studio album from the melodic death doom metal band from Germany. Now, this album is dark, incredibly melancholic and brooding, but it's also got a very sharp edge to it. The one thing that really stood out to me the most about this album was the guitar interplay. The solos and the dual guitar attacks are incredible. The tones are beautiful but highly aggressive, full of rich melodic textures. Now, even though this plays around mainly with melodic death and doom metal, there's also a progressive element to it, especially with the changing time signatures. The melodics soar and echo throughout this entire album, which really creates this very ghost-like, ethereal atmosphere. But the heavier aspect of their sound twists and turns, and it definitely keeps you hooked. Now, I would say that the vocal style does fall on the cleaner side, which are very soft and uplifting and emotionally powerful, but when those guttural vocals hit, it completely shakes the foundations of that light ethereal side of their sound to create this spiraling, dark, ominous atmosphere. So if you are a fan of the likes of Catatonia, In Mourning, or November's Doom, you're definitely going to want to get onto this, especially if you're looking for that dark kind of autumnal feel, especially with this time of year. It's equal parts beauty, equal parts aggression, and I absolutely loved this. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up I have Autrest with Burning Embers, Forgotten Wolves. And this is the 2nd studio album from the atmospheric black metal project from Brazil. Now, this is another solo atmospheric black metal project, so naturally I was all over this, but this album completely blew me away. It's haunting, it's dense, it's incredibly powerful, but so unbelievably beautiful. Yes, you have the harsher black metal elements with your tremolo picking and your blast beats, but the flutes and the keyboards create this magical and mysterious atmosphere. Now, this album draws on inspiration from nature, forests and mountain landscapes, and that is definitely the feel that you get when you listen to this album. Don't get me wrong, even though this is an incredibly beautiful album full of atmosphere and wonder, it is so very brutally heavy at the same time. What I really liked about this album was the contrasting vocal style. So most of the time throughout the album you have these venomous, rasping, blackened screams and growls, but you also have these cleaner, almost monastic chanting vocals that appear every now and again, which really creates this otherworldly feel about the album. But when you listen to this album, it is melodically rich and spiritually stunning. This is an absolutely incredible album that really captures the ancient spirit of the forest, fused together with the raw brutality of melodic black metal. So if you are a fan of the likes of Black Braid, Dwarrowed Elf or Below, you're definitely going to want to get onto this one. Plus that album artwork is absolutely stunning. I love my atmospheric melodic black metal projects, and this one is definitely up there with one of my favourites. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have no idea if I'm pronouncing this correctly or not, but I have Jord with Emellantraden, and this is the fourth studio album from the post-black shoegaze doom metal band from Sweden. Beautiful piano moments, melodic guitars, intense tremolos and blast beats, really dense bass lines, and this beautiful yet ferocious energy. Now, even though the black metal and the shoegaze elements throughout this album are prevalent and the forefront throughout, there's a lot of doom metal and folk metal elements as well, which creates this very multi-layered, dense, atmospheric feel. Emotive orchestration, really grand compositions, and a muscular energy. This album is absolutely stunning, but it goes incredibly hard at times too. Now, even though this is a melodically rich yet brutal album at times, it's incredibly addictive. There's enough groove under that foundation to really keep you hooked in. Now, the vocal style is primarily your blackened rasps and screams, but on occasion you do have clean vocals come in that have a folk metal kind of feel to them. So if you're a fan of the likes of Alcest, Falkenbach or Agaloch, you're definitely going to want to get onto this, but definitely check this one out. I love the album artwork as well, and this is a really fun yet very intense and artistic listen. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up on today's list, I have Sublime Eyes with Thor, the Serpent's Coil. And this is the fourth studio album from the melodic death metal band from Norway. Aggressive groove stomps and face-melting energy. This certainly falls on the heavier side of the melodic death metal subgenre. There's a lot of melody in this, but it's very, very heavy. Plus, the synths and the keyboards in this are otherworldly and actually quite creepy. And when I was listening to this album, I don't know if this was the intention because I couldn't find any information on it, but I definitely got a lot of H.P. Lovecraft vibes from this. This has a very hellish, nightmarish kind of spiraling feel to it, but it's so ridiculously catchy at the same time. The guitars in this in particular are incredible. The solos are screaming, the riffs are really detailed and intricate, and the vocal style is incredibly dense. It's so powerful, guttural and demonic, and that really feeds into that hellish nightmare feel when you're listening to this album. But they make it catchy, they make it highly addictive and intoxicating. Now, even though it is quite a sinister album to listen to, there's also something very opulent and uplifting about it. I had a lot of fun listening to this album and I cannot get enough of it. So if you're a fan of the likes of Darkness Everywhere, At the Gates, Upon Stone with a little bit of Sulphur Aeon, definitely check this one out. I absolutely loved this album. Like I said, I definitely got an H.P. Lovecraft kind of vibe when I was listening to this. No idea if that was the intention behind it, but it made it incredibly creepy and sinister, but so enjoyable to listen to. Definitely check it out. Okay, so next up, I'm just trying to fire through these as quickly as possible so this video isn't too long, but I have Progeny of Sun with Prophets of the Void. And this is the second studio album from the blackened death metal band from Finland. This perfectly blends everything that's fantastic about black metal and death metal, but they also throw in a lot of really cool groove stomps as well. This is an incredibly harsh album. It goes straight for the jugular, does not let go from beginning to end, but there's a lot of really cool groove underneath it. The vocal style throughout the album is incredibly demonic and guttural. The power behind the vocals is unreal. Like I said before, this album goes straight for the jugular and it goes at 100 miles per hour from beginning to end. It spirals, it twists and turns. The solos are intense, the riffs are incredible, the blast beats are just going on forever, and the bass lines are incredibly chugging. This has a really strong rhythm section and it's definitely going to keep you on your toes. This is dark, it's aggressive, high octane with a lot of really cool groove and harsh melodic moments. So if you're a fan of the likes of Belphegor, Hate or last week's Prescription album, which I recommended, this one is definitely for you, but I absolutely loved this. I love blackened death metal with a lot of groove and a lot of really harsh melodics, but it has to sound really evil and enticing at the same time, and that is exactly what you get with this. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so next up I have Cult Burial with Collapse of Pattern, Reverence of Dust. And this is the third studio album from the blackened death doom metal band from the UK. This album is evil. It's sinister, and it sounds like it's coming from the depths of hell itself, but it is so captivating and addictive. This is another one of those albums that goes straight for the jugular and is completely unrelenting. The power and the energy behind this blackened death doom metal band is unreal. Spiraling riffs, really intense tremolos, blast beats that just do not stop, dense chugging bass lines and guttural growls and screams that have so much passion and energy behind it. Now, there's no synths, there's no keyboards involved with this, but this is still a densely atmospheric album created by the guitar compositions. There's something quite despairing and hellishly brutal about this album, but you can't help but listen to it over and over again. So if you are a fan of the likes of Ulcerate, Gods Dethroned, Lotan, and again with a little bit of Prescription thrown in, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check this one out. This is fantastic, a blackened death metal with doom metal elements throughout, really dark and sinister and ridiculously brutal. Definitely check this one out. Okay, so last up on today's list, but certainly by no means least, I have Imperialist with Prime. And this is the third studio album from the blackened death thrash metal band from the US. Now, this is primarily a black metal album, but the thrash metal and the death metal elements are incredibly strong throughout. It is a sci-fi and space-themed album, so you have a lot of really cool dynamic storytelling. But the thrash metal element combined with the tremolo picking of black metal creates this multi-layered, guitar-driven atmosphere, which is incredibly heavy, but really fun and bouncy too. This is what I like about merging different subgenres together, because the thrash metal element creates this very fun, bouncy and addictive feel to the album, but the black metal and the death metal brings out the very dark, sharp edge to it. There's a lot of really cool melodics throughout this album, but the pace and the energy remains aggressive. The guitars are screaming, solos are soaring, the riffs are intricate, blast beats that are incredibly intense and deep chugging bass lines. The vocal style is primal, it's rasping, it's venomous, and it's incredibly powerful. So if you are a fan of the likes of Venom, Emperor, Dissection with a little bit of Immortal thrown in, this one is definitely for you, but definitely check it out, especially if you like the sci-fi themed blackened thrash death metal. Loved this. Definitely check this one out. And that's it for this week's very rambly New Metal Monday from somebody who has a banging headache currently, so thank you for persevering with me. As always, let me know in the comments section below what you think of today's records, and if you have any of your own recommendations, please let me know and I will definitely get them added to my list. Make sure to follow the Spotify playlist link that I've got in the description box below as well, because I update that every single Monday when one of these videos goes live with all of the albums that I talk about. If you don't use Spotify though, I have also included the band's Bandcamp links or their YouTube channels, just so you can find the music that I'm talking about as easily as possible. I'm also pretty active on social media, so all of my handles will be in the description box as well. I'm going to go die in a corner of this horrible headache now, so once again, thank you all so much for persevering with me. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you all for your support, and I will see you very soon in my next video.